गुड मॉर्निंग डैलस, गुड इवनिंग इंडिया, गुड इवनिंग भारत, गुड इवनिंग अपना बेंगलुरु बोलता हूँ आप सबको। आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी का प्यार भरा नमस्कार। आज का दिन है दिसंबर 15th 2024। अनदर 15 और 16 डेज देन वी आर थ्रू विद 2024 और 2025 में कदम रखने वाले हैं। पता नहीं चला 2024 कैसे गुजर गया। एट ए ब्लिंक ऑफ एन आई जैसे हम बोलते हैं वैसे निकल जाता है ये वक्त, ये समय। तो चलिए आज का ये बहुत ही स्पेशल इंटरेस्टिंग कार्यक्रम शुरू करेंगे, लेकिन हर इतवार को ये कार्यक्रम शुरू करने के पहले हम भगवान को ज़रूर याद करते हैं, और वो भगवान को याद करते हुए आज भी ये कार्यक्रम शुरू करेंगे। आइए।
भैरव रुद्राय महारुद्राय कालरुद्राय कल्पान्तरुद्राय वीररुद्राय रुद्ररुद्राय घोररुद्राय अघोररुद्राय मार्ताण्डरुद्राय अण्डरुद्राय ब्रह्माण्डरुद्राय चण्डरुद्राय प्रचण्डरुद्राय दण्डरुद्राय शूलरुद्राय वीररुद्राय भवरुद्राय भीमरुद्राय अतलरुद्राय वितलरुद्राय सुतलरुद्राय महातलरुद्राय सचातलरुद्राय तलातलरुद्राय पातालरुद्राय नमो नमः। हर 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 महादेव। हर 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 महादेव। ॐ शिवोऽहं ॐ शिवोऽहं रुद्रनामं भजेऽहम्। ॐ शिवोऽहं रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्। वीरभद्राय अग्निनेत्राय घोरसंहारः सकललोकाय सर्वभूताय सत्यसाक्षात्कारः शम्भो शम्भो शङ्कर। ॐ शिवोऽहं रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्। हर 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 महादेव। ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय चारुणाय च नमः शङ्खाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो हत्रे च हरीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवकराय च। अंड ब्रह्मांड कोटि अखिल परिपालना पूरणा जगत्कारणा सत्य देव देव प्रिया वेद वेदार्थ सारा यज्ञ यज्ञोमया निश्चला दुष्ट निग्रहा सप्तलोक संरक्षणा सोम सूर्य अग्निलोचना श्वेत ऋषभ वाहना शूलपाणि भुजग भूषणा त्रिपुरनाश रक्षणा व्योमकेश महासेन जनक पंचवक्त्र परशुहस्त नमः। ॐ शिवोऽहं रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्। ॐ शिवोऽहं रुद्रनामं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्।
गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण। आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी आप सबको स्वागत करता हुआ। आज का दिन है दिसंबर 15 2024। आज हमारे बीच एक स्पेशल गेस्ट है, उनके बारे में 2 मिनट में आपको बताऊंगा। एंड बिफोर दैट आई वांट टू थैंक ऑल ऑफ यू द ऑडियंस जो ये कार्यक्रम देखते हैं और हमारे चैनल को सपोर्ट करते हैं। प्लीज़ कंटिन्यू टू सपोर्ट एंड सब्सक्राइब द चैनल so more and more viewers can view this channel and get lot of knowledge about the अन्वेषण that we bring in every week. हाँ जी, भारत अन्वेषण का एक ही उद्देश्य रहता है कि ऐसा कोई यूनिक पर्सनालिटी को ले आए और यूनिक NGOs है या यूनिक जो लोग हैं या अपना कल्चर है या अपना टूरिज़्म जगह है जो अभी तक एक्सप्लोर बहुत कम किया हो. And we are not here to explore the big and the famous which is already being explored, इसलिए हमने भारत अन्वेषण नाम रखा है हमारे चैनल का. तो आज एक ऐसे एक पर्सनालिटी को लेके आएंगे जो फिलांथ्रोपी और ये प्रोफेशनल लाइफ को बैलेंस करता हुआ कैसे मतलब ज़िंदगी में आगे बढ़े हैं. लेकिन उसके पहले हमारे संदीप सदानंदप्पा हु इज़ माय टेक्निकल बैकिंग, उनको मैं थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ. ही इज़ ऑलवेज देयर सपोर्टिंग माय चैनल एंड माई सेल्फ इन एनी इवेंट दैट आई डू इन इंडिया or sometimes when I do the online programs here, he is there. Thank you Sandeep for being there, and he runs a company called A&V Perspective. अगर आपको बेंगलोर में कोई इवेंट करनी हो तो डेफिनेटली प्लीज़ गेट इन टच विद संदीप सदानंदप्पा, A&V Perspective. अगर उनका नंबर चाहिए तो आप मेरे को भी कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. और द सपोर्टर्स, आई वांट टू थैंक यू ऑल फॉर सपोर्टिंग द चैनल एंड बीइंग देयर ऑलवेज. एंड आपके सपोर्ट के बिना ये कार्यक्रम चलाना भी बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग रहता. चलिए आज का गेस्ट के बारे में बात करेंगे और वो बहुत ही यूनिक पर्सनालिटी है. उनके बारे में कुछ शब्द पहले बिफोर आई ब्रिंग हिम to you all. He was born to Srimati Pushpa and Sri Jeetendra Aneja in New Delhi into an extended joint family that was uprooted by the partition of India. In his formative years, his parents instilled in him the values of service, patriotism, humanity, and humility. His grandmother taught him Guru Nanak's message of love, peace, and brotherhood, while his English teacher at school put him on path to spiritual learning and finding meaning in Lord Rama's morality, Lord Krishna's teachings on purpose of life, and Swami Vivekananda's modern outlook and tolerance in religion. Taking inspiration from the life and works of revered figures, he learned the value of truth and simple living from Mahatma Gandhi, courage from Bhagat Singh, leadership from Subhash Chandra Bose, and valor from Chhatrapati Shivaji. He was also exposed to teachings of other religions that led him to appreciate the vastness and diversity of Indian culture. He established a business of imports and distribution of medical and scientific equipment from Europe in 1985. Before that, he completed his mechanical engineering from Delhi College of Engineering and postgraduate diploma in sales and marketing management from Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. His company is now a market leader of aesthetic, dermatology, dental lasers, as well as dental and surgical operating microscope. Then he moved to Bangalore in 1994. He joined Rotary Bangalore South Parade in 2001 as club president. 2006 and 7 he brought a greater focus on community service. And now he is in the Rotary Bangalore Junction Club, and he has been serving there for years. And he served also as the District Governor General of Rotary in the year 2022 and 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Jeetendra Aneja from Bengaluru. He is going to join us. Welcome to the show Bharat Anveshan. Jeetendra ji, namaskar, good evening, कैसे हैं आप?
Namaskar, my good morning or Shubhodaya to my friends in US, and Shubh Sandhya, good evening, and Namaskara to my friends in India. Thank you, Rajiv, for inviting me here. You put me in category of unique person. I do not know. I am a very ordinary man, but it's good to hear at least.
सारे यूनिक पर्सनालिटीज जो है, यूनिक पर्सन जो है, वो हमेशा ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. They become very modest, and they are modest people, and they themselves won't call them unique. They always call them as ordinary, which is okay. But you are unique for us. That's why you are here with us on Bharat Anveshan. And first of all, sir, मैंने तो थोड़ा बहुत आपके बैकग्राउंड के बारे में बताया, जो भी थोड़ा सा मेरे हाथ आया था. But Please tell us originally where are you from and how long you are now settled in Bangalore.
Rajiv, as I told, probably you have already introduced, I was born and brought up in Delhi. My all initial schooling, college, and professional studies, even my starting my business, did happen here. And I was born in a very big joint family. You know, that was a great culture at that time. कि लोग सब एक साथ हमारे uncles, we were, means my father had four other brothers, he was right in the middle. तो हम सब एक ही family में एक बड़े घर में रहते थे, which gave us a big family that we would play with cousins, and you would never alone in the house. We used to joke about it. Use घर में, we were born in a time when there was no lock in our house. You know, nobody will lock almiras, nobody will lock the doors. So that was a great time to grow up in Delhi. And I was a favorite child of my grandmother. So that was, it's really nostalgic to remember those old days when my grandmother would, you know, hold me when I was very small, carry me around, and I would ask for anything. It was offered to me on platter. You know, this love which I got from my grandmother to my mother, parents, both parents, and my uncles, you know, it did help me grow up in life very well. And then I studied to a, and a lot of people wonder, you know, that honestly, I did study in a government school. A lot of people don't believe me that how come you have studied in a government school? You know, those were the days where those government schools in Delhi were also superb, very nice. I had some very good friends. We had some moral and cultural moorings with the teachers who, you know, taught us those values in that time. And the biggest thing was that it was very close. It was walking distance from my home. And during the break, you could come back home, have lunch, and go back. So that was a big thing. But so when I got, I was, like you mentioned, you know, I was very competitive when I was a young child. I was very aggressive, to be very honest. I was very aggressive, very competitive. And but then when I shifted from a initial schooling up to class 7 was in a Montessori school, then I shifted to a government school because there were no schools around and I had to be there. And then I took to sports like fish to water. So that helped a lot of overall growth into the personality. I was quite good at studies, but I became quite good at sports also, representing Delhi in athletics. I represented Delhi twice, in the, what shall I say, cross-country races. And we were 4 or 5 students, or my co-friends at the school. We were Delhi state champions in relay races. You know, that used to be a real big thing at that time. We would participate, and I would bide my time equally between studies and this. So it so happened after that I joined engineering, and after engineering I joined, you know, my family business was of manufacturing microscopes, in fact. And I used to devote quite a big number of hours visiting my factory. I was right from early, even when I was at school, I would spend a lot of time going to the factory and developing and being interested in developing new ideas on new microscopes. My father was a sort of pioneer at that time to start such a high-tech industry. In 67, he started this project. So from there on, I moved to engineering. And then, like you have mentioned, when I came out of the college, then in 84 or 85, I established this company of distribution of the products. So this is about my early beginning, but I have fond memories. In 94, I moved to, you did ask me a question, when did, मैं 94 में Bangalore आया.
एक्सेलेंट. लेकिन आपने जो बताया अभी कि भाई आपने जो इंजीनियरिंग के बाद जो है यू हैव सीन यू हैव बीन गोइंग टू यू नो फैमिली बिजनेस में जाते थे वगैरह वगैरह. मे बी दैट इज़ द इन्फ्लुएंस दैट यू डिडंट जॉइन एनी गवर्नमेंट जॉब या गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या मतलब आपका जो दिल इसमें आ गया कि भाई चलो बिजनेस ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं, यू नो इसमें ज़्यादा मुनाफा होएगा.
So now you're touching a raw nerve. If I will let a secret out, my first love was never engineering. I
Okay.
wanted to join medicine. I joined and I was preparing. I did join pre-medical. And I had some very close friends going in for also medicine. But right from the early childhood, I was inspired that I should become a doctor. And I was, so involved in my studies at that time कि I would in those days वो स्कूल में ना frog dissection के लिए biology class में देते थे तो आई वुड अच्छा उसमें क्या होता था कि वो बताते थे टीचर्स भैया जब फाइनल एग्जाम होगा तो बेटर बी प्रिपेयर्ड तो आई विल वो फ्रॉग खरीद के लाना पड़ता था खरीद के लाने के बाद अपने वो 2.5 मंजिला घर होता था ऊपर जाके छुप के मैं करता था एंड माय ग्रैंडफादर वुड नेवर like it.
Let you do that.
No,
Yeah.
he never liked the idea of dissecting a frog. And he always say, oh, come on. Are you if you know in Punjabi, we will say, oh, tu te jaake daddu kat de, changa kam. So, but it so happened that to support my father in my family business,
Correct.
they told me that it's time you better shift to engineering so that you are able to look after the factory.
Okay.
So that is how I joined. So when I joined engineering, the idea for me was never to go into a government service. I was always wanted to be a creator of some new ideas, and we were trying to upgrade the technologies, which unfortunately didn't happen because it was a very exclusive technology in very, very few hands. At that time, only in Germany and Japan. Japan was also coming up at that time with the microscopy field. But so that pushed me to the engineering and to the manufacturing side of it.
Wow. No, that's very good. Actually, you brought some memories of mine too. When we were in 10 plus 2, my subject was also biology. Wanted to become a doctor, and but I always hated the zoology section of the teaching because there you dissect the cockroach, the frog, and all those things, to read all those different parts of the body of, those creatures. So somehow, maybe it is a destiny, I was directed to the engineering side of it, then got into an engineering. But,
Share something
but
in
that's
common.
why, yeah.
But remember, in those days, there used to be only two choices. If you were good at studies, either you want to be a doctor and an engineer. I really tell the youth of today, you have wonderful opportunities. Just look at something and do something which you like more.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. They have such a vast options to choose from, and and in engineering also we had only 3 faculty. Electrical, mechanical, civil. That's it.
No choice.
No other choice.
Sometimes
Anyway.
no choice, no regrets. In fact, it's been very useful career.
It's a blessing in disguise. So let's take a quick break here, and then we'll come back with our more questions. Yeah.
किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है। किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है। माना अपनी जेब से फकीर है, फिर भी यारो दिल के हम अमीर हैं। माना अपनी जेब से फकीर है, फिर भी यारो दिल के हम अमीर हैं। मिटे जो प्यार के लिए वो जिंदगी, जले बाहर के लिए वो जिंदगी। किसी को हो ना हो हमें तो एतबार, जीना इसी का नाम है। रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का, जिंदा है हम ही से नाम प्यार का। रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का, जिंदा है हम ही से नाम प्यार का। के मर के भी किसी को याद आएंगे, किसी के आंसू।
गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण। आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी आप सबको स्वागत करता हुआ। छोटा सा ब्रेक लिया हमने, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बातें चल रही है मिस्टर जितेंद्र अनेजा जी के साथ, and who is joining us from Bengaluru, and today we are talking about the balancing act between the philanthropy and the professional life, and how he is able to successfully manage on both of these ends, and that can be very inspiring for a lot of people out there. And चलिए फिर अपना ये इंटरैक्टिव सेशन जो है कंटिन्यू करेंगे। वेलकम बैक अनेजा सर। सो योर वैल्यूज टुवर्ड्स द शो लाइफ जो है shows that you are very inspired by some of the greatest leaders of our country in India. उसके बारे में कुछ आप बोल सकते हैं?
See, when I was very small, I had a very bad or good habit. I was bad in the sense that I would trouble my father that every day I need to, before I go to sleep, he has to tell me a new story.
Okay.
And that probably became a boon for me. He was a great nationalist and a patriot. He would tell me about his younger days in erstwhile India, which is now in Pakistan, where as a youth leader, he also participated in some satyagraha movement and had blows to his, the legs, and he would show me the wound which he got it. So he would tell me these stories about the Indian struggle. And it so happened that most of the time when I was growing up, I had some friends who were beyond my age or much older than me, and they would tell us some stories. So today, probably it's very difficult in the divided polity which we have to speak about, your inspirations of like Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi or Sardar Patel or Jawaharlal Nehru in the same vein, because it is unfortunate part that as this polity has got divided, they want to divide heroes as they belong to one side or the other.
Yeah.
But honestly, you learn from these leaders. The kind of courage Netaji showed, that was a real inspiration to be ahead of time. He was much ahead of his time. The kind of army, Indian National Army, which he raised, the kind of, he made a battalion of women in that time, which probably took the independent India for years to come. And then the patriotism and the nationalism which he instilled, that was a real good inspiration for me from Subhash Chandra Bose. And the person like Bhagat Singh, means although at such young age he was so widely read, and both these of gentlemen were secular at that time, purely secular. They didn't believe into any. believed in the national brotherhood, that everybody is part of India and everybody is one. And the kind of sacrifices which they did, it instilled in me the kind of leadership that you have to be aggressive and ahead of it.
Correct.
Then when you come to Mahatma Gandhi, I was really impressed by his simple living and adherence to the truth. He brought spirituality to the politics. He was the guy which we saw. We were not live at that time, but from the stories, and I read his book of Experiments with the Truth, who stood by his conviction, whatever. See, I can tell you it's very difficult to stay with the truth all the time. And I have seen in more recent time, only person who brought and stood by whatever his conviction and with the truth is Mahatma Gandhi. And he brought up the masses. His appeal was so much, his spiritual and leadership appeal was so much. And he took every section of the society together for upliftment of the untouchables. That work is great. And of course, he led the India's movement toward it. It's very difficult to sustain that kind of popularity over 50 years of work. It's not easy. And in those days when there is no social media or something, but the kind of following. So he gave me the idea of simple living, and in a way, I used to practice it also. Some of his, teachings that of simple living and all that. And going forward, like Shivaji, of course, this was something which first we used to hear a lot of stories about all those great warriors who fought against the invasion and under the rules of the foreigners in India at that time. So Shivaji stands out because he stood first time for the honor of the men he was leading. He stood for the first time with the dignity of the people he was living. And then he came up with the strategic warfares, the guerrilla warfare tactics probably originated at that time. So these were people who inspired me. But the best thing which inspired me was Guru Nanak's teachings. We had, so where our house was located, we had a small Gurdwara in the lane behind us. So it was a ritual for us to visit. We come from a very, very, family which was very open. We had a small temple in the house where Guru Granth Sahib was there, Gita was there, Ramayana was there. So and everybody was allowed to practice everything. And like we have in the Hinduism, a very liberal, inquisitive religion where we can ask questions and answered on that. But the visit to Gurdwaras brought me closer to Guru Nanak. And every Sunday, when I was a very small child, even my grandmother will take me to Bangla Sahib Gurdwara in Delhi every Sunday morning. It has been practiced for years and years. In those days, a bus will start from near our house and drop us at Bangla Sahib, and we used to look forward to it. Now, I was such a great admirer of Nanak, a person 550 years plus years ago traveled 40,000 kilometers from one corner to the other, from Kabul to Sri Lanka, east and west. But more than that, he was a product of a tumultuous time. He united people. Those were the time of wars between the invaders and the Indian, inhabitants. So he united people and gave the idea of Ekonkar, one God. And then his story of, Saddha, that used to be Sacha Soda. He was not interested in the people. He said they brought in the idea of a mass welfare of the society even 550 plus years ago. So that was something, and his appeal still, the appeals to me, whenever in the Sikhism, if you are aware of, but the final prayer, even if they talk about, is always Sarbat Ka Bhala,
Yes.
And so this ideas of Nanak. So I have tried to imbibe. People used to call me, you are a fool, you are an idealist. Honestly, some of my friends would be listening. They used to call me, you are a fool, you are an idealist, you don't live in an idealist world. I said, look, if I can stay and I will be comfortable in my heart to live by the values which I've imbibed is good enough for me. So that was it.
Very well explained, Aneja ji. So why you felt that you should join Rotary?
Okay, first of all, it's not that I have experimented with many organizations in the past. It's a lot of people don't believe me, but I started an organization at a age of 15 or 16 for the welfare of youth uh, in Delhi itself while I was at school. But then
Correct.
I found, whenever you are in such organizations, you try to get people bored. It was always getting politicized. You can't do this, you can't do that. And then I did experiment with the other cultural and social organizations at that time but I found them to be, too divisive. That this sect is not acceptable, that sect is not acceptable, and going back to the old histories, so it never appealed to me. And it so happened, when you initially get busy with your business establishment, looking after your families, you get married, you have children. So at some stage when I migrated here in 94, after 2 3 years, I said, look, it's time, I should join Rotary, because that gave me a lot of friends. On a single day when you join, you make real good friends who are totally committed. And Rotarians are a different league by themselves, because they are somebody who probably stick to the moral and ethic values, which I have never seen in any other organization. So, but joining there, it also opened my eyes to the whole world of needs, which this the society is needing. There is so much of deprivement in the society. You need somebody to take care of it. Initially, even when I joined, I said, look, why are we doing this? Why are we building a school? It's a government work. Then the better sense prevailed that either these kids would wait for 20 years for something to raise their standard, or you can do or make something to do it. And then I came in touch with the kind of work with Rotarians had been doing with the polio. In last
Eradication, yeah.
89, we have eradicated polio in 99%. A lot of people do not know the contribution of Rotary, because it was Rotarians who brought polio on the forefront of the tables of all the 110 countries almost which are inflicted with the polio. And today we are 99.9% out of it. So this was a remarkable, what shall I say, organization. And I found them to be pure. You come to an organization, no discussion on caste, religion, politics. If we say you are discussing politics, go out. And the best part of it is that people here are united with one cause: service, service, and service to the society, service above self, bringing peace to the world.
Peace.
And people coming from the different, the extremes of the political views, when they assemble here, absolutely they are united with one good agenda. So this was the need for me, and I am so proud of my organization today that we are able to do something and make some difference in life of people.
So with that, I come to another thing, that your contribution to the society has been very immense, and especially from the Rotary side of it. And you have been serving now Rotary in Bangalore for years together. And with that said, in 2022 or 23, if that is the right
Yeah.
thing, you have been the governor of Rotary Bangalore, and you have conducted lot of immense projects. So उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए सर.
Again, the people who are listening, I always maintain that all good people should become part of Rotary, because here we are not only friends, but collectively we have a great power of bringing change in the society. It is not only the service projects we talk of. We work with the youth, and we are creating better, what shall I say, citizens for our country as such. So I was looking, and this is again when I say that we don't believe in any caste, religion, or politics. You can imagine a migrant from north of India being elected as a governor. It is a tribute to every Rotarian of my district, which was 3190, with 7,000 members, almost 170 clubs at that time, spanning from Tippur up to Tirupati. So nobody believes in this and they chose me to lead them. It was a wonderful year of full of service and camaraderie. The Rotarians serve selflessly again. Uh, in a year, can you imagine the with only about 70% or less than 65% clubs reporting, we could reach the value of the projects to almost about 125 crores during one particular year. And I will tell you what areas we serve. We look after peace building is our main motto, because we always say that absence of war is not peace. Peace lies in when everybody has good access to the food, health care, education, water and sanitation. So all these areas are looked after by Rotarians, especially the mothers. We lay a lot of focus on the girl childs. And during that particular year, some initiatives which we took up, and some mega projects. Of course, from the club side, if you can imagine, my club, which is Rotary Junction, is hardly a 14 years old club. But we come together to do wonderful projects. In 14 years, if I assess, we would have done maybe big permanent projects which are sustainable and still yielding results is almost about 15 or 18 crores of rupees from one single club itself. So we have established ICUs in the pediatric to the big ones. We set up hospitals, not the hospitals, but several specialized departments in the hospital to serve the society. Like we have a mobile cancer vans, almost in our district many, but in particular club, we have a mobile van, we have a mammography center, we have a very advanced optical coherence tomographic center, which is a need for people who are lose vision due to retinal diseases. We have a ophthalmic screening van. We serve, we almost uplifted 100 schools in one go by making them happy schools. We have built schools. And today, we are also associated. Now, these 3 or 4 initiatives, which are very good at that time, was that we brought in focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion in Rotary. The last 2 decades in India, because of the political scenarios, or last 3 decades, if I go back, has been quite divisive. I hear from a lot of people you have recent elections in America and how America is divided on, but you have fortunately only 2 lines, Democrats and Republicans here. There are many lines.
Yeah.
People are very much divided, and something it spills over into Rotary as well. So we try to bring back focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and which Rotary took it up 2 years ago, and I was the first governor to be told that this is a message which Rotarians should remain pure. See, I always say Rotary is a very pure organization, and to maintain its purity responsibility lies on every member of it. So we brought focus on DEI, we brought a lot of focus on girl and women empowerment, which is again has become a worldwide priority with this. So going for it, special projects which we introduced were, we did a mass screening we promised to do 200,000 screening for the Bangaloreans on the non-communicable diseases with diabetes, BMI, and blood pressure, because they are becoming silent killers today. And with this, we embarked on that journey. We committed to an Arogya City project, which we could complete about 60%, 70% of that. And now we are embarking on with the local BBMP for a screening of 500,000 Bangaloreans on that. So that was one project. Other project was pre-screening of the cancer. Cancer is also, since we work in the preventive and curative care from the Rotary side, cancer is a silent, means it's becoming prevalent, but once it comes to a family, people think it's a death knell and it destroys the entire family and their economic structures. So we initiated a project for entire screening of one district in Bengaluru to pre-screening, kind people aware, and try to see if we can have people and detect their cancers if they are prone to it very early, so that they can lead a good life. So this was one of it. And one of the projects which we always have been doing is the Kamdhenu project, where we give 100 to 200 cows for destitute women. And those monies, while they earn, they pay back. So it is going on multiplying. So in last 7 years, we have been able to do something like we must have given 700 cows, which have become almost close, no, 1800 cows. So 1800 families are getting, women who are destitute. We always look after them. So this was it. And the other thing which we did was we started a skill development center with Bosch, and for which I am the national head for the Rotary Bosch partnership. We are determined to establish 100 such centers throughout the country where it is at a minimal cost. It's a joint partnership between Rotary and Bosch, where we hopefully every center trains 100 people and place them for the jobs. So it's a real good and very low cost model which we are following. We have made success. Almost about 18 centers are already working. So I have a long way to go working with the other 82, which probably we will complete in next 2 or 3 years. This was it. And also we are supporting, this free pediatric heart surgeries. Now, this was a project started by a very passionate Rotarian, Dr. O.P. Khanna. He has, you probably heard about him.
Yes.
And every year we raise monies to supplement that. Now we have a Rotary Needy Heart Foundation. Averagely, we are able to touch 1,000 surgeries a year. In last 13 years, more than 13,000 surgeries have been done free of cost, help of the Rotary. And today also, well, before I came here, a fundraiser was going on for the Rotary Needy Heart Foundation.
तो दर्शकों को बताओ, जितेंद्र जी जो इतने इन्वॉल्व है रोटरी के एक्टिविटीज़ या रोटरी के ज़रिए जो वो फंड रेजिंग एक्टिविटी वगैरह करते हैं, और सोसाइटी की तरफ जितना वो मदद हो जाए उतना मदद करने का पूरा अपना दिल लगा के काम करते हैं. एक छोटा सा ये वीडियो देखते हैं, वो मैं आपको पता चलेगा कि वो किस चीज़ के लिए है.
स्टॉप किया था क्या?
वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण शो. राजीव कुलकर्णी का प्यार भरा नमस्कार. अभी एक छोटा सा क्लिपिंग जो दिखाया था, ऋषि कपूर फंड रेजिंग नाइट था, जो जिसके पीछे जितेंद्र जी का बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन, उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए सर.
Where did you first of all dig out this video? Even I don't have it. I'm not very particular about my photographic videos. Wonderful thing. No, that was year 2016. 15-16, I was the district secretary for this. And this idea came up that every year from our club we do it, and from the district side we do it. But most of the time we want to support this concept of free heart surgeries and help our O.P. Khanna ji for this, which was earlier being done as a Needy Heart Foundation, which was outside of Rotary. But now for last 5 years, it has come under banner of Rotary Needy Heart Foundation. So this was a concept which was developed because Rishi Kapoor had never come to Bengaluru. So, and the people are ready to give, but people are not ready to come and attend the show. So this also becomes a challenge. So we decided that let us have a celebrity. Prior to that, we had done a Lakshmikant Pyarelal night in the same auditorium, which we took. It was a Christ auditorium which has a capacity of 2,000 people. People said you won't be able to fill the hall. We said no, right kind of people when they come, and right kind of cause, it always touches the heart, people will come. And this was fantastic. We could raise in 1915-16 period almost close to 45 lakhs for the pediatric heart surgeries. And thanks to many big partners like SBI at that time gave us substantial money. They came forward to support it. So this was it. And we had a great time with the Rishi. He was a great, in spite of whatever image he has, in the public. He was a great stickler for punctuality. If he would say, knock at my door at 6:49, he would be ready at 6:49. That kind of
Yes.
work culture. So today we celebrated his father's 100th
Yes.
anniversary, and we are
100
complete
years. Yes. Yes.
100 years.
Raj Kapoor.
And
Yeah.
yeah, birth anniversary. A fundraiser is going on. I attended
Yes.
one half of it, and then I came here for this interview. It was
वेरी
wonderful.
नाइस वेरी नाइस वेरी नाइस नहीं बहुत अच्छा लगता है बिकॉज आई हैड अटेंडेड वन ऑफ सच फंड रेजिंग इवेंट इन बेंगलुरु which was organized by Rotary clubs, and of course I am myself is a Rotarian, so I also get involved in organizing such events. So now coming to your professional side of it, you have one of the finest laser products for dermatology, dentistry application, etc. How challenging is to offer those products in the Indian market, as it's I believe it's made in Europe.
So I go back. I was at the beginning of my career, and one day somebody lands up and he says to one company, which I was earlier working with, it was the subsidiary to deal with the Zeiss, Carl Zeiss, which is the best manufacturer from Germany in optics. So they came to them and they said, okay, we have this product and we want you to sell this product. And it was a laser. Nobody had heard about it, the word laser at that time. And it fell in my lap. So I was really fascinated, and it gave me an opportunity to combine my love for medicine and love for engineering, love
Yeah,
for optics, everything into one machine. So that is how the journey started. In those days, it used to be only the surgical lasers, and we had been virtually entire my 40 years career in the laser business have been more on the teaching side of it. A lot of my doctor friends started calling me professor. I don't know, Miss jokingly. So, but it was virtually teaching the people on what are the applications, because even the doctors wouldn't have heard about the kind of applications we brought it. So, but this market was not very big, very expensive products. Initially, we used to get from Israel. And then in later 90s, these product started coming for the dermatology market. And the last 2 decades have been on the dermatology market. That opened up the market for the lasers. And then also year 2000. So I've been, my company, together with my other partners, it's a family business with my brothers. We are pioneers in introducing surgical lasers, dental lasers, not so much in aesthetic lasers because somebody else was selling aesthetic lasers.
yeah,
But
right.
so it is tough because they are very expensive. Recent interview, the CEO of Uber was in talk with Nandan Nilekani, CEO
Yeah.
was Dara Khosrowshahi. So he asked him, how did you succeed in India? He said, jokingly, that Indians want everything and don't want to pay for anything. No, we are a nation who, as a marketing guy, I know you have seen the Bombay dying for last 30 years. Unless they put 20% discount, nobody buys that.
Nobody
The
buys
best of the sheets, nobody will buy unless they give some discount. So it's a difficult market, small market, but it's developing now, and I'm pretty sure the next generations which are coming. So we were product of a different generation, new generation and new doctors. They have better ideas, and now our economy is growing. It's still very difficult to sell because the dental lasers which I sell now are ranging from maybe 50 lakhs to 1 crore of rupees. So but people are getting interested, and I think it is a slow absorption of this technology will happen in India as well, and like other good products, because this is
Very nice.
very active part of it. It's not an essential part. Essentially, if you need, we have the best of the doctors and best of the facilities. If it is cardiology, ophthalmology, they don't stinge on buying. But unfortunately, we are with products which are a little more elective. So
Yeah.
people are a little hesitant to invest, but it's happening.
Excellent, excellent. So now these products, they need very aggressive approach as well when the market becomes very competitive, in the sense competitive or challenging, I would say. So and understanding, that philanthropy work also needs lot of your dedication, lot of your attention, and time manage, putting the time into it. So how do you balance between these two, Aneja ji?
See, first of all, the for not reason any the people call me professor sometimes in my sales trade. So you are able to put across your ideas in a short time. Say we are today. What has helped is the our internet age, because it has
Correct.
brought customers much closer home, and we focus more on the educational program. So I have a hierarchy being set up when I was no, I would be busy in Rotary with my district governor. So my nephew, I brought him. He was working with Deloitte to join the company and get partially take over the business. It's tough, but what happens is it's easy from the other thing because something which is your hobby also is your business, or what is your business is your hobby. It is enjoyable. So right from the early beginning, even when I was in sports, I was going to in college days, I was attending college, I was going to factory. It was a seamless transition for me. Same thing happened in Rotary. What I do is when I get up in the morning, first 3 hours I devote to my business and then open up to Rotary. I'm available for the people all day. And I have very good friends, people who, I'm very lucky that, I have good, rich friends around me. I keep on encouraging them and they keep coming back to me that they have money and they want to spend. So it's a question of, so things become easy and we work as a team in Rotary. There are a lot of people who execute the projects. So I tell people,
Correct.
the money is like manure.
Yes.
If you hoard it, it will smell. But if you
Yeah.
spread it, you get a bumper crop.
Yes.
So
Yes.
people are giving in Rotary and they have understood ancient Indian ways of giving. 7,500 years ago in Upanishads it is written how to give.
Yes.
Give freely without any
Yeah.
motive, and give sufficient so that to meet the needs. You give
Correct.
little and the needs are not met, so it also becomes difficult. But it has been a seamless thing. So I do compartmentalize, but it is possible to do it.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm sure that your family, wife and kids definitely support your contribution towards the society, as well as, how busy you are on your professional side as
Yeah.
well.
Rajiv, honestly, it can't be done without the involvement of the family. Uh, I'm so fortunate to have a wonderful family and extended family as well, and wonderful friends around, I can assure you. Who put your
Absolutely.
total trust and faith in you to go ahead and do something. They want to come and support it. So in our home, it is a Rotary talk all the time, business talk all the time, Rotary talk all the time, and everybody enjoys it. Everybody
Yeah.
enjoys it. For us, even during relaxing time, holiday time, it is Rotary or business going hand in hand.
Very nice, very nice. No, it makes it much easier and much smoother to work on your next schedules and plan your next activities.
No, no, they have made a lot of sacrifices for when I am not available with them, but they also accept that. So it's
Definitely,
kudos to them.
definitely,
Kudos to them.
yeah, yeah. That is how you can balance it out very effectively. अनेजा जी, ऑलमोस्ट वी आर नाउ कमिंग टू द एंड ऑफ द शो. अभी 5 मिनट रहते हैं, तो आपकी तरफ से हमारे दर्शकों को, ऑडियंस को कुछ अच्छा सा जो मैसेजेस जो आप देना चाहते हैं, प्लीज़.
See, it will look cliche or, I don't want to sermonize, uh, but something is that let us try to do something for the society. See, government today cannot reach out to every nook and corner or every citizen. There is somebody who needs immediate help. It is only you can probably providing. But even, it doesn't matter whether it's a small work or a big project or some help. It always has a ripple effect of it. So what I say
Correct.
is that each one of us as a leader, when you pick up an idea, you lead with purpose to complete and help somebody in life. Embrace the change. It is a very, very changing word. Don't rely too much on the social media, on all the messages going on. Try to filter out, but embrace change. Maintain humility. I will tell you, in giving, it is very, very important that you stay and work for peace. peace is single most reason where we all world needs to get united for it, because I was listening, there are almost 30 plus war zones going on in the whole world with 2 billion people are affected, out of which half million, 0.5 million people or 500 million are children, And in a war is never been a solution. In a war, it is the children and the women who get affected. Respect women, try to work for peace. Let us avoid these differences between us, and let us make this world a better place, And I always, one message which I always tell is that whatever you do with all your conviction, put behind it, because every work today you are doing is a service to the nation. Every work you do today is a service to the nation.
absolutely very well said, अनेजा जी. एंड दर्शकों को मैं बताऊं कि जैसे कि हम अभी पूरा 1 घंटा बातें जो किए हैं, मिस्टर जितेंद्र अनेजा इज़ बेस्ड आउट इन बेंगलुरु, but originally he comes from New Delhi. He is studied and he has graduated in engineering and post-graduation also in the engineering field marketing field from Delhi University. But he came from Delhi to Bengaluru in 1994. Then he established himself in this southern part of the country, and then he joined Rotary to service the society. See, the values that he mentioned, that he learned from his elders and from the so-called leaders who ran or who fought for the country and at that time. But more than that, Guru Nanak ji का जो उन्होंने values बताई है, I think he mentioned about humility, and that is one of the peace loving and humility is one of the most important message what Guru Nanak ji has spread in his Grantha. So that shows the value of a person towards the human beings. That shows how important he considers to serve the society and to serve the people out there through whatever it means. If it has to be Rotary, yeah, why not take up Rotary and serve the needy ones. And that is his message, which is so wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeetendra Aneja, for coming to this show and sharing your experience to our audience. And you definitely are an inspiration to a lot of people out there, and your enthusiasm, your dedication, your determination towards your professional life, towards your family, and towards the society is commendable, that I could say. And we wish you from Bharat Anveshan and from all our audience, wishing you all the strength, more strength to you to serve more and more people, and God bless you always.
Thank you. One final line, people do, your year-end closing, financial closing in 31st December. Ours is 31st March. I tell people, do a social audit also at the end of the financial year, how much you have contributed to the society and how many friends you have made. Thank you so much. It has been pleasure talking to you, Raji. और माफी चाहूंगा, आपने कहा था हिंदी में भी बात करना, अब क्या हो गया कि ये वो प्रोफेशन ऐसा रहा और ये दिल्ली से इतना दूर रहे, तो वो
कोई बात नहीं लोग हमारे ऑडियंस दोनों भाषा समझते हैं. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली परफेक्ट. सो दर्शकों को बताऊं, अगले हफ्ते डेफिनेटली लॉग इन करिएगा, बिकॉज वी हैव अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट गेस्ट विच इज़ अगेन रेफर्ड बाय अनेजा जी. It is about Miss Sudha Varghese, and she is, the title of the show would be A Nari Gunj for the Upliftment of Girls and Women. She works in the tribal society area of northeast of our country, that is Bihar state वगैरह में. So it would be a very, I would say, breathtaking story, breathtaking experiences that she is going to share with us. So do not forget that. तब तक के लिए जहाँ पे भी रहिएगा, तंदुरुस्त रहिएगा और खुशी से रहिएगा. एंड गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल. आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी एक और एपिसोड का साइन ऑफ करते हुए आपसे मिलेंगे अगले हफ्ते इसी टाइम पर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. नमस्कार.